We're at the Fedoric House, Sunday, April 10th. Construction status. Chicago Tribune, Sunday, April 10th. Came by to pick it up. Also do work in the basement to try to alleviate and mitigate as much water from the forthcoming storm that we're having. So I had to do some sump pump work. You can see construction debris on the floor. That is a piece of green board, which is debris from the ceiling looking up to the bathroom on the first floor. Why this hole is here, I have no idea. But just want to point out debris that was never cleaned up all over the floor in the basement. And the current state of the electrical, which I've asked to be rectified at many times. We have one long yellow and one long orange cord, basically extension cords. A little more debris on the floor. The extension cords are hooked up to a temporary cord here, which is basically our source for power in the basement. Showing also the other sump pump. So we have two sump pumps. If these sumps go, or if water starts accumulating on the floor, obviously all the debris that Jay left here will be all over the place in the sumps and cause the sumps to fail. Which I'll get into another story after showing you the filter that I asked Jay to replace in the furnace. Tough to tell, but it's supposed to be white, and as you can see it's gray. This side strewn with dust. So, issues not doing a bunch of things. Here's a state of electrical that apparently has passed inspection. That's one box, entirely overloaded. Here's wire that's been pulled out of another box. Not really sure where that wire is going. We did have some pretty heavy rain in the past, which when Trinity's electricians did their work, I noticed that I came in on a Saturday morning and there was standing water in the basement. Now, because there was standing water in the basement, meant that the sump pump didn't work. So that sump pump that you're looking at had to be replaced. I saved the old sump pump. The new one's down there. So obviously you can't see it, but I did have to replace the sump pump. So move on to the old part of the basement, and concern we have there is open electrical box, nothing really going on. Open electrical box, power unable to be shut off, so I'm not sure what is going on. Here's some flex, just hanging, live dead, no idea, but kind of focusing on the floor now because once again absolutely filthy. Garbage can left, mostly full, but for weeks I've asked Jay to clean up down here, and for weeks he's told me that he's either cleaned it or he's in the process of cleaning it. Well, if he's in the process of cleaning it, I can understand that because of this. So obviously a huge pile. This part of the basement also fills up with water, and because this is a higher elevation, the water that collects in this part of the basement goes down to the other basement area. If there's a lot of debris on the ground, we're going upstairs now, but if there's a lot of debris on the ground, that'll cause that debris to go into the sumps and obviously fail. So either the electrician for Trinity or the fact that the debris had accumulated in the sump pump caused the sump pump to malfunction and fail, requiring a new one. This is the old stairway, incomplete, no drywall, a lot of exposed. This is filth on the ground, not cleaned. House passed rough inspection. My question is that if it passed the plumbing inspection, where is the drain? Here's your hot and cold water. No drain. Conduit coming out of the roof. Not really sure what that's for. Out of the ceiling in the kitchen. Not sure what that's for. Conduit on the opposite side. Not sure what that's for. Problem with the painter. The surface is gritty. Not gritty here. It appears that it's quite possible that, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but this is supposed to be a taupe wall. If you could hear that, that's grit from the priming. This is smooth. This was primed. The grit is probably from a nozzle that was at the wrong PSI, or I don't know. But the bottom line is that all the walls are now gritty. Any place where the painter did his priming, but yet is fine on the regular walls. And you can see here, it's smooth, but in other areas of the wall, it's not. So something happened there. General great room condition of flooring. Jay only used a little bit of paper on the floors to protect it, so that probably isn't going to hold up. Here on this part of the floor, you could see scratches already developing on the floor. Vents, that is a floor vent. Another floor vent there. Return vents, partially covered. The problem is that with all the sanding and all work done, the vents in the pertinent to the HVAC system have been filled up with dirt and dust, although I've asked for weeks to have those vents covered. This is the status of the bathroom floor right now. Subflooring is in not too good shape. I would think that that would have been replaced. Once again, I really don't know what this hole in the floor was, as you saw from the basement. But in this case, I would have thought that this flooring should have been replaced, or at least that discussion should have been made. All this work has been done. Apparently, paint primer is good enough for fire, smoke, odor prevention. The floors in the great room also, there was mold on the Luan subflooring, and I asked Jay if that has been replaced, and he's never given me an answer. Sloppiness of the mudders. Dining room, nothing really going on. Cabinets are in here. I really don't know what the status of the floor is in here because it's been covered, but one thing that is concerned is, once again, a supply vent not covered, although they were covered in the past and I asked to have them covered. Also there, a patch done on the wall on paint that's no longer available. Nothing's been completed on that. Tool shop cart is my cart. The contractor has taken control of it, although I asked him not to use my stuff. Another floor vent that at one point in time was covered and was uncovered once the flooring started, and it's not been recovered. The real bad one pertaining to the vents is this is the main return vent of the house. I asked it to be covered, not only with the vent cover, but also with some type of media so that we wouldn't get dust in the HVAC system. Under there is a vent, but I don't know where it is because it's covered. Then you get to the general condition walking into the house. Filthy, I guess is the only way to describe it. The white on the stainless steel doors of the refrigerator, actually dust and dirt. I don't know what the condition of the refrigerator is. I'm really not sure how it's going to work. All of our chandeliers, which we have several in the house, are filthy, and they were cleaned by the cleaning company and will have to be re-cleaned. The whole house will have to go through a consistent, significant re-cleaning. Live. That's the amount of dust. We'll walk up the stairs, and you can just see the layers of dust. Significant amount. Pass-through stairway. No insulation. Don't know if it's required. Gap of about 1/4 inch. Not taken care of. And as we go up, we get even dustier. There are no lights in the hallway anymore because they haven't been reconnected. This is the front bedroom. It's full of furniture and other supplies of ours. I asked for this door to be closed because I didn't want it to get dusty. So if you look from here, actually going into Melina's room, you can see the doorway. If you look, this doorway goes down the stairs. This opening that you can see now, I asked it to be covered in plastic to mitigate as much dust as possible, prevent the dust from coming in. This door I asked also to be plasticized, and not only was it not plasticized, but it was never closed. The amount of dust on it is unreal. It'd be hard to see this, but we'll try this. And it's hard to see the dust, but trust me, it's dusty. The thing that makes me really sad, and well, here's a good idea of dust. This is actually dust on top of the outlet. I'm very depressed about this room because this is my daughter's room, and it's an absolute pigsty. There's dust everywhere. You can see a layer of dust on the cabinet right here. And I'm just sad because I know that if Melina saw this room, she'd be heartbroken. Another idea, the dust that was made and nothing was covered. Hallway, second floor. Here's the bathroom. Nothing really has happened in here because I actually finished this bathroom. New toilet put in. Asked Jay on numerous occasions not to have his guys use the bathroom because they've left it in disarray. They used up all the toilet paper, every piece of paper that we had in here that we use because we have to come in here pretty much every day to drop Melina off for school. There's nothing here. So they used up all the toilet paper, the Kleenex, the paper towels, vent not covered. Back into the hallway, it's a little dark, but here, another idea of dust. Absolutely disgusting. Master bed. Oh, by the way, master bed door. Obviously, I just opened it. Not covered. Ironically, everything in the room is covered, except for the vent and the floor, which is typical with all the other vents. Barely used enough plastic to cover our bed. Ceiling fan, filthy. But then the closet is covered, but yet there's nothing in the closet. So you can't tell that that's a closet because it's covered. But why would you cover all this stuff up and not cover the doors? Loft, my office area, incomplete. Jay was, the last time he was supposed to paint up here that he promised us was February 3rd, I believe, or I'm sorry, April 3rd. The bottom line is that upon our return from vacation, all painting was supposed to be done. You might notice some orange that's all over the balusters and railings up here. That's mud that was not cleaned up by the contractor. Here's another idea. This used to be a brick colored surface, and because of overspray, it's ruined the surface and all this needs to be resanded. Overspray once again needs to be resanded. So essentially everything that's been done in the great room from a priming standpoint has to be redone because the walls have to be sanded, cleaned, and repainted. The only other thing that I've forgotten at this point is that the other furnace in the basement, there are two, the main one. If you thought the filter on the secondary furnace was bad, the primary furnace is absolutely filthy. You can refer back to the vent, the return vent, here in the sitting room, being open through the drywalling, mudding, and flooring process with basically nothing to cover it. So, you know, just going by the vents. We'll end our tour in the basement once again. But bottom line of the house is that the lack of professionalism, the lack of caring, and lying about materials being in and not being in, looking for money, going to our bank behind our back has created a really bad scene. And at this point in time, I'd like to part ways with Trinity. Here, by the way, is the filter from the main furnace. Absolutely disgusting. And I asked Jay to clean these, or to replace these 3 weeks ago. Hope you enjoyed your tour.